Hi everybody, it's Danielle with Inspire Me to DIY, and I have not been live for 2 whole weeks, so I really missed you guys. Today, we are going to make the cutest little farmer's market sign. I know my words are backwards because I have an Android phone, and Apple phones seem to be the only ones that you can flip and make everything, all your wording correctly. So I'm hoping Android people out there that change the world, if you're listening, fix it so we can flip our cameras. But right now we can't. So this is our farmer's market sign. Oh my goodness, my t-shirt is so cute. I have a new skeleton dance t-shirt out, and it kind of makes me want to dance every time I see it. So I'm going to show you quick and easy how to do this without a lot of money, without buying carbon paper, without buying all the extra stuff. I had this frame already. It is from Michael's, and it's just a big wood board with like a frame that goes around it, and I think it was like $20 some, but I think I got it for 50% off because I never buy anything like this unless it's extremely on sale. So what I did is I picked out my favorite font, and you can download all kinds of different fonts from Pinterest onto your Word document on your computer. And then I just printed it out. Now, if you don't have access to all of that, you can go to the library and get onto their computers, use their Word document, and print out the words that you need. So I don't remember the names of these fonts, and I was going to write it down. But this is actually 2 pieces of paper done landscape instead of portrait. So it's landscape. And I taped them together, and I cut out my strips. I use my Furbon paper cutter because it just cuts everything so uniform, and then I can line up my letters, and I kind of used a straight edge to line them up. But we are going to use poor man's carbon paper, and by that I mean we're going to take a regular number 2 pencil, and we're going to scribble on the back of this, and then it will transfer onto our board. I don't like to use carbon paper for this kind of project because it will leave marks that you cannot erase off. And pencil you can always erase. This is a painted whiteboard, so it's kind of a flat finish, so it's going to suck up some of, if you paint or marker or whatever you do on it. So you kind of need a lot of markers and a lot of, wow, I have no words, carbon on the back of your letters. And let me show you what I mean. I usually use a piece of paper and do this on top of that because this will transfer onto my table. But I got glue and everything else on this table, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. And instead of doing the whole paper, I'm just going to kind of draw around my letters because I can see through to the other side. Oh, let me show you here. I'm just going to go around. And then I'm going to color, can you see that? Then I'm going to color into those lines instead of doing the whole thing, because that would take forever in a day, and nobody's got time for that. Now, I did the rest of my fonts, my letters on the board, and I also printed out some really cute pumpkin designs. And what I did with that is I went onto Google and I put drawings of pumpkins, and then I clicked on images so it would only give me the images, and then I downloaded them into a Word document, got them the right size that I need, and printed them out. So there's all these, I think 4 different kinds of pumpkins on there, but then I taped them all together and I put them on the center of my board. Now my board is, I think, and I measured the outsides. It is 24 this way and 16 that way. So I went through here and I did 12 inches for my center, and then went that way and I went 8 inches for my center. And I put a little X in the middle of my board, so I knew exactly where center was, because that's how I knew I knew I wanted my pumpkins in the center. So then I taped all my pumpkin pictures together and I folded it in half to make sure that the pumpkins ended at the end of this. Folded that in the middle, and then I folded them. I folded them this way, and then I folded them this way. And then that right there is my exact center. So I put that center on the center of my board. Does that all make sense? Is it kind of clear? Hopefully. But that's how I did my center. And then I taped the edges to make sure this is exactly where I wanted it. I also put a little mark in here that was the center, here and here. So when I did my words at the bottom, and see, I'm taking the edge of this and the edge of this, not the edges of the paper. And I'm lining that up, and then that is where the center of my words are. So I know with my little mark up there that that is where I want to put it. So it'll be right in there. But first, we got to do our carbon paper on the back. I'm going to get this out of the way. And it's going to take a number of pencils, or it's going to take one pencil and a pencil sharpener. But I have my pencils here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this in, the parts that I outlined around the words. And I learned this way back in high school because I took a number of art courses in high school. We were fortunate enough to have a really great art teacher who taught all kinds of art. We had commercial art, art history. There was fine art. So I took a number of different art courses with her, and this was her way of transferring something to a board. But back then we had to do all our own lettering, which was kind of before computers. So that kind of tells you kind of how old I am. But we didn't have Word documents and all that to make our fancy lettering, let alone all different kinds of fonts. I remember that one of my pastimes, like in study hall, was making up different types of fonts that I liked. Lord knows I didn't use it for studying, so I might as well do something during that time. But it was all different fonts, and you learn a lot of how to size things and make them wider or smaller. And so I learned how to do all of that without a computer. But now, with the computer and with all the different fonts that you can download, if you just go on Pinterest and put free fonts in the search engine, search bar, oh my goodness. I never pay for fonts, so all of it is free. And once you download it to your computer, it automatically goes to your Word document. Kind of cool. So then when I want to do a sign like this, see, I'm running out of pencil lead. When I want to do a sign like this, I can just look up all my different fonts. And the hardest part is picking just one. Okay, so now you can see I only went around my letters and not the whole border. Okay, so we're going to put that on our board. And this is my center line. I'm going to line that up with my little mark that I put on my board. And I'm going to tape that down. Making sure that it's straight. I surely don't want that crooked. Now, I already did these. And when I take this one off, I'll show you, so you can see what I'm talking about, because it's kind of hard to explain. Make sure when you do pick out your fonts that you pick out something easy, because if you pick out a really difficult font, it's going to take you forever and it won't be as fun. So pick out something that's easy. I am going to make my sign just black and white. because I'm going to use my Sharpie markers. And I brought out a whole lot of Sharpie markers because of this board being painted white, the flat white. It kind of sucks their ink dry. And it doesn't ruin your markers, but it'll suck it dry for a while. So you have to put it off to the side, use a different marker. But like the next day, that marker's good again. So I'm not quite sure what it is that dries out the tip. So that's why I brought a lot. And I have 3 different sizes of Sharpie markers. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing because I was cutting corners there. I want it to look just like the font that I downloaded. So how's everybody out there? Now that we got this part done, we can sit and talk a little bit. It is finally cooling down here. It's cooler in the mornings and the evenings, but it's still in the 90s during the day. And it'll be that way till middle to end of December, usually. We might have a couple of cool days here and there. But then in January, February, it is just beautiful. The highs are usually in the 70s and the lows are in the 50s, which it makes it wonderful. I have one sweatshirt, and even when it's really chilly out, I wear it for a little bit and then I get warm. I would love to have, you know, the real fashionable boots that we had up north and with the fur lining and all the fancy stuff. But man, you would die out here with any kind of fur lined anything. All right, so I almost got the word farmers done. And if you're undecided as to how you want your design to go, again, go on Pinterest, put in farmer's market sign. There's hundreds that pop up. So you definitely will have some idea of how you want to make your sign. Now make sure if you're going to sell these, make sure that you don't make them exactly like one you saw on Pinterest. Change it up a little bit because you definitely don't want to be in trouble for trademark stuff. Okay, so there's my first one, my first word, and then I'm just going to do market, and I'm going a little bit slower than normal just because I want it to turn out really good. Sometimes I just kind of put it on there quickly to get an idea and then draw it the way I want anyways. But it's like a baseline to go off of. I don't know of a different word right now. Words have been escaping me lately, but I know it has a lot to do with my age. Even though I don't feel my age and I can move around and still run and all that stuff, my brain is really a telltale sign of how old I am. It's like, okay, almost done here. It's like the coolest thing when you pull the paper off and you're like, oh, I'm always surprised at how good it looks. Okay, I'm at the K. So my house is completely decorated for fall. The only thing I have left to do is design my tablescape for Thanksgiving, for our Friendsgiving. And once I get that all designed in my head, then I will put it together, take pictures, and show y'all. But I have it pretty much kind of how I want it in here. All right, last letter. Okay. Let's take it off. Let's see if it worked. Oh, it did, but it's really faint. Let me put that over to the side. I'm going to fill in some of this so you can see. It's real faint, but it definitely gives you an idea of where you want to draw in with your marker. Now, I might get it all done with my marker and decide, you know what, I'm going to put some color in it anyways. All right, so I drew the F so you could see it a little bit better. I can't really tell if you can see it. So that's our farmer's market. I've already done the other two because for time's sake. And that looks really good. Let's see. Oh, for some reason that one came off a lot darker. So, here's our sign. Everything's ready to go, and all we have to do is use the markers. All the many, many markers that I have. Now be careful when you draw things out. Don't do what I do and start down here and then try to go over here and smudge it all with your hand. Try to, if you're right-handed, start on the left and work over. Otherwise, you're going to get your hand right where you don't want it. Best part of crafting is coffee. Now, I have 3 different kinds of markers. I have the ultra fine point, I put down there on the white, and then this one's the fine point, and then I have the chisel tip, which I might use for the farmer's market part because they're the thicker letters. And let me do that first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it around and work on my right, or my left to my right. And let me see if I can do that with, I got a fuzzy on the end of this tip. There we go. And I'm just going to fill these letters in. And since they're thicker, this chisel tip should work great. But I don't have a lot of them, so I'm hoping this white paint doesn't dry it out so much. Oh yeah. I'm almost done with the first letter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up so you can see. Okay. This would be a great sign to make with your girlfriends. You could all make your own. Design it how you want. But I think I'm going to put this out on my porch. See how easy that is? Real simple. Hey, Betty, isn't this great? I love this. This is going to look so professional when it's done. And if you're like me and you go shopping a lot and you see those signs that you really want and they're way too much money. So I think this is definitely the way to go. It would be neat if you just had, instead of with the frame around it, just had a board and do the whole farmer's market, but then on the opposite side, do something for Christmas, like have a hot cocoa bar or something and have a sign for that. So it's the same sign, but you just flip it over and use it for 2 different holidays. I am all about that because storage for everything can be a premium when you have a lot of holiday decor. So it'd be great to use something for more than one holiday. Okay. I kind of want to look at, although I'm doing it backwards, I kind of want to look at my letters just to see, because I have it upside down. So it's kind of throwing me off a little bit. Okay. It's not drying this marker out near like I thought it would, so that's wonderful. Okay. I know I say okay a lot. I should have that on a shirt, right? Okay. Oh, I like it. I think the one thing that I am missing today is snacks. Crafting's not fun without snacks. What do you think? Oh, I like that. That's looking really good. Okay, to my M. There it is. Trying to figure out what that's supposed to look like upside down. I wish it would have transferred a little darker because it's real light. If you want, you could go over it with a pencil before you did the marker, because that way you could see it better and it erases off this board pretty good. But it's kind of hard to make it out, especially when you're going upside down trying to make out your letter. There are so many farmers markets in the area, not so much around here, but I know in the northern states, there's a lot of fall festivals and farmers markets. And I think my hometown has a fall festival this weekend. I'm pretty sure the Apple Festival is going on, which, oh, I miss my town during that time, because we were always very big part of the Apple Festival. Betty, put that on a shirt. That's right. Okay, so this S is a little tricky. Can't really make it out. Oh, okay, so I'm just gonna, it's got a curly Q on it that wasn't making sense to me upside down. So I'm just going to kind of sketch it. And then that goes there. Okay. Hopefully I don't mess it up. I did this, the top upside down like this because I don't get my hand in the rest of this. So the rest of it I can turn it upside or right side up and finish. Okay, and this goes like this. I'm just kind of sketching it out. So tomorrow, I'm going to go to, it's like a flea market type thing, but it's not a flea market. What is it? It's kind of like a farmer's market, but it's more crafts than fruits and vegetables. So that is over in a neighboring town, not in my town, but going to drive over there and see what they got. Maybe I'll take some videos and post them so you can see the different things going on, especially if it's all crafts and stuff. Oh, I'm going to be totally into that. Okay. I think I'm really going to like the black and white over putting color on it. And if I do put color, it might be like a off-white or a sagey green because my pumpkins have a lot of leaves. So I might color those in, but I'm not sure at this point. I've seen it all in black and white. Not this particular lettering and all that, but I really liked it. And using a Sharpie marker, you don't have to worry about it being outside. How come it makes sense right side up, but it just makes no sense upside down? Like I couldn't figure out what that letter was. Okay. So you can see how fast this goes. I mean, I almost got the top lettering done. The font I picked was fairly simple because it's nice and thick, which is so much easier to paint in. Definitely need your glasses for this. Okay. Let me turn that. This is, so I had to kind of like draw it in. Let me get that done. Now I have to keep my hand off of it so I don't smear it. I'm really happy with this chisel point. I didn't think it would last this whole word, 2 words. I love getting real pumpkins and putting them out on my front porch. I have a number of the faux pumpkins, which I put those out nice and early, but the real ones, I mean, they only last less than a week. So you can't, if you carve them. Now, if you paint them or something like that, they last a lot longer. But once you cut into them and expose air to them, they don't last a whole lot longer. But I like to carve my pumpkins, and then I like to roast the seeds. Now, if you go to a store like Whole Foods, they have them already roasted. No, they have them already shelled. And then you can, and they're still green, but then you can roast them. And I like doing that. It's so much easier to eat them when they're shelled already. But I like to use different flavorings. I have some that are like a Southwest flavor, and then I have some that are more garlicky. But it's a great snack, and it's a healthy snack depending on what you put on it. You don't want to like douse them in salt. But if you use different flavors, you really don't need as much salt to have that satisfying flavor. Okay, I think I need to make that a little thicker. Last part of my F for my farmer's market. I'm excited to get to those pumpkins because I love how those turned out. Okay, farmer's market. Oh, that looks really good. Even backwards. Okay, so I'm going to go with my medium-sized marker. Let's see if I have enough of those that aren't dried out, because down here I've got real skinny letters, and I might want to go with my fine, ultra fine marker. And I'm not coloring any of this in. I'm just drawing around all the little details that I did. Some of these pumpkins have little leaves. Some of them have the corkscrew vines still attached. But yeah, this marker's it's starting to dry out already. It might have not have been a great marker to begin with. And pumpkins are so easy to draw. It's just a series of ovals or parts of ovals. If you do an oval in the center and then just kind of oval it out around the edge, got a nice pumpkin shape. And that's kind of what I've got here with the pumpkins that I drew. These are ones that I got off of Google. I just, in the search engine, put drawings of pumpkins. And I got all these different kinds. See, some of them have the leaves and some of them have little curly cues. One over here even has a slice taken out. I don't know if you'd want to eat a pumpkin like that. A melon, yeah, but not a pumpkin. All right, come on, marker, stay with me. It's losing it a little. Might be able to get part of this pumpkin out of it, but I brought a whole bunch, so we're gonna be good. You could even use a paint marker, and I have some of those, but the only ones I have are like the gold leaf and the silver, and I didn't really want this looking metallic. Okay, so I'm gonna put this marker over here, separate it from the rest of these, and let's see if we can move on with this one. What is that little pumpkin supposed to look like? I didn't draw the whole little pumpkin over here. All right. Now we got, oh, no, this one's not even working to begin with. Well, let's hope we have enough. Oh yeah, this one's decent enough. Okay, what does that pumpkin look like, and why didn't I draw the rest of him? Oh. Was this the one I just used? No, that one's better. There we go. No, look, it's drying out. Heavens to Betsy. There we go. And this one had some little lines around it. And what's the stem look like? There. It doesn't look too bad. I wish I would have drawn it to begin with. I might have to use the tip of my chisel one because it was still working really good. These might have been really old markers to begin with. I didn't really look at them good. Yeah. Oh. One left. Oh, can she do it? Nope. Okay. We're going to try it with the chisel tip. Oh, that's better. This must be a much newer marker. Tell you what I'm going to do with those old ones, though. I'm pitching them. I thought that they still had a lot of good left in them, and they don't. Yeah, this is so much better, but I have to go over some of the ones that didn't transfer. Oh, I love these pumpkins. I like that I used all different types, 4 different drawings actually. I was kind of happy with that. It's got a little stem, bunch of leaves. So Saturdays are grocery shopping days, and you know, trying to get it all done in the morning. My husband does most of the grocery shopping because he does all the cooking. He loves it. I don't. So I'm really fortunate that he loves it. But You'll hear them coming in and out. So I got two of my pumpkins drawings almost completed. I still got some leaves here. But there's so many things. If you wanted to do a hot cocoa one, you could do a cup with some steam coming out of it. You could do marshmallows, all sorts of things. And the reason I'm saying that is because that's where I think I'm going to go with this next. I want to make ones for Christmas. And really, hot cocoa could be not just Christmas, but all winter, if you wanted to do it. Go around this pumpkin where I had those bad markers. Did not work. Okay. So this is what I have so far. I think that's really cute. I like how that looks. The more I look at it, the more I'm thinking I might want to put some color to these. But if I do, it'll be later, not today. I'm glad I kept the drawing so I can look at what they're supposed to look like. These little curly cues, they're deceiving. I wasn't sure how those were supposed to turn out. I love having hot chocolate bars at my house. We always have a movie night around Christmas, do a Christmas movie, and then I have a hot chocolate bar set up. But I like to make my own marshmallows. And it sounds really complicated, but it's super easy. You just have to have a really good mixer because you got to turn the mixer on and walk away for about 20 minutes and let the whole mixture just whip up. And pretty much that's the secret to it, but they taste so much better than the store-bought marshmallows. Once you have one, you're like, yeah, you're kind of ruined for the other kind. Don't know how they toast up though, so I've never made s'mores with them, but I definitely love them in my hot cocoa. All right. Pumpkins are done, but you can see I got a thicker line on some of them and a thinner line like on these over here. But hold back like that, I think that's really cute. Yeah. And once the marker's completely dry, I will go through and erase my pencil lines, which that shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay, I'm going to try some of my fine line markers and see which one of these work. Hopefully all of them, because this is real fine lettering. And I did it on purpose because I wanted different lettering. I remember when I was in art classes that, and I don't know if this still goes today, but most of your signs should have at least 3 different types of fonts in them. I never looked to see if a lot of them do, but that's supposed to be a rule of thumb. We have 2 different kinds, but that's because we only have 2 actual lettering. If I had a third thing in here to say, because this is all going to be the same and that's all going to be the same. So if I had a third group of lettering, then maybe. Yeah, this might be a little too thin. They're drying out pretty good too. I think that bigger chisel marker, since the tip is so big, it doesn't dry out as bad. And this might be too fine. I don't know. We're going to keep it for today though. But I might make them a little thicker later on. Now, I did see one that it had similar words to this, but then it also had locally grown or pick your own. And you could add words like that as well. I'm also thinking about maybe doing a straight line here and a straight line there on top and bottom of my pumpkins. See how fine that is down there? That might be a little too fine for my sign. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. But we're going to keep it for today, and then I will probably make it a little thicker down the road before I put it out on my porch. Yeah, these are drying out way too quickly. Can't believe I went through all of those medium-sized markers. They could not have been good to begin with. So the whole hardest part of this whole design is getting your center, putting all of your letters the way you want them, making sure that it's more professional. Betty, those stars are pretty sweet. Oh, you sent me 100 stars. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay. Yeah. Drying up. Drying up. Why are you drying up? I just have one and a half more words to go. I think paint markers might have been the way to go on this. But I don't know if you can get paint markers with the really, really fine line. I have not had really great success with paint markers. Look at the edge of my hand from going across the pencil. That's why you don't want to do it with the marker until the marker dries, because then you'll have a big black smear. You'll have to paint it all white and start over. All right. Yeah, the bottom letters are, I'm gonna put that over there, are a little on the thin side, but I still think they're cute. I'm gonna go over them a little bit more, and I think I'm gonna put those straight lines in there. But what do you think? Do you think I should paint it or just leave it all black and white? I'm kind of liking it. I'll have to look at it and ponder how I'm going to finish that. But you can see how quick and easy it was. 43 minutes, but I had a lot of it drawn on already. So it takes a little time, but look at how cute this is, and it looks like a store-bought one. So if you like this project and you want to see more of my stuff, hit the little follow at the top. If you're already following me, thank you so much. And you can catch me on YouTube, Pinterest, obviously Facebook, and Instagram. So hopefully I get to see you on all the places. I also have a blog, Inspire Me to DIY. It's the number 2, inspireme2diy.com. And I have a t-shirt shop where you can get dancing skeletons, and that is inspiremefabulous.com. So go ahead and check it out. This shirt, let me tell you, it is so soft. I love these t-shirts. They're very comfortable and very soft. And yes, I do wear one of my t-shirts every single day, so because I love them so much. So it was great to see you this Saturday. Hopefully I get to see you soon. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.